Welcome to this financial claims webinar. This is part of a series of tutorials looking at the financial claims process and evidence requirements for the ATI programme. This tutorial will be looking at what your claim should look like. There are deadlines with submitting your claim every month for the ATI project. The first deadline that I'm speaking about is the third working day of every month. This is when you should submit your claim to us at YCL and we will begin checking it. We check claims for the first 2 weeks of every month, and this is to give enough time for your programmes coordinator to check participant paperwork. After these first 2 weeks, if there are any lines that are not proven to be eligible, they will be sent back by your programmes coordinator for you to submit next month. You should speak to your programmes coordinator if you anticipate that you will be late in submission or if there will be any problems with your submission. Your claim should be submitted to Quorum every month. This is the only secure file transfer service that we use. Your file name should be named to the convention that we have set out at the beginning of the project. As you can see from this diagram, you should include your procurement contract ID as the first numbers. You should then include which financial month your claim belongs to, and then what row the piece of evidence belongs to on the FMS. You should also include a short description just to let us know what the piece of evidence is. You need to submit an FMS with every submission. It needs to be accurately completed. We need to be able to tell easily what is being claimed and that every single line is evidenced, auditable and defrayed before submission. I will show you an example of a well filled out FMS just so you can see what I'm speaking about. You can see here that the procurement contract ID has been filled out with your partner number. The supplier name is the organisation's name for staff costs and for staff expenses. However, if you are able to split these expenses into separate lines to accurately record supplier VAT numbers and invoice numbers, you should do so. VAT numbers are all recorded as are invoice numbers. We should be able to trace the invoice numbers back to specific pieces of evidence. Here we have recorded the invoice date and the defrayal date. These should be accurate. When it comes to payslips, you may be paid before your payslip is issued, in which case you should just record defrayal dates in both columns. Payment methods have been recorded accurately and payment references, if available, should be recorded so that we can uniquely identify the payment. The expenditure detail is clear and concise. For staff costs, it must include the initials of the staff member, their job title, and if their actual cost or hourly rate. If their hourly rate, it should include how many hours and at what rate they've been paid. Expenses should break down their mileage and what else is being claimed for. If the expense has been split into different lines, you should be able to see how the expense relates to ATI. You can see that no full names have been used, as this is a breach of GDPR. Moving on to the next part of the FMS, apportionment details have been recorded. This would be if you are claiming for the whole receipt value or just a part of it. This would apply if you're claiming for an hourly rate staff member, for example. The invoice value is recorded minus the VAT value, and VAT is recorded in the irrecoverable VAT column. All VAT is irrecoverable on ATI. Category of region must be recorded accurately. If you're not sure what your category is, please contact your programmes coordinator. This last part of the FMS is where your indirect costs are calculated. You can see from this column that 15% has been added on to your direct staff costs. You must provide a full trail of evidence for every cost on the FMS. This includes proof of cost such as a receipt or invoice, and defrayal, like a bank statement or petty cash sheet. You should ask yourself the three questions: is it best value for money, is it ATI exclusive, and does the cost match the defrayal? If those questions are not answered by the evidence required, you must include something else to prove these. It is best practice not to submit editable documents to us, as these are not audit proof. You are welcome to submit them as long as you submit a PDF or a locked document alongside it. We have recently introduced a mandatory checklist. This must be uploaded every month alongside your claim submission. This should streamline your admin and data processes and make your claim completion a little bit more accurate every month. You can agree with your program coordinator to no longer submit the checklist every month. This must be agreed by both of you, and if you are replaced in your role or if a new finance person comes on to complete the claims, the checklist will be reintroduced. Every month you may receive an individual error tracker every month, or an IET. This is a record for both you and the program coordinator of any errors that have happened during your claim submission. This is also useful for us to monitor errors. This completes the tutorial for what your claim should look like. If you would like further clarification on any of these topics, please contact us at your consortium. Thank you for watching.